What up, YouTube? What up? What up? Just chilling, going live today, man. For a little while, just trying to real quick. I'm supposed to go the other day. I didn't. I didn't go the other day. How's everybody today, man? On the Saturday, man. What's going on with everybody, man? You know, it's hot out here in Cali, man. Yeah, I'm just chilling though. Just chapping in for a second with y'all. You know, trying to see what's good. You know, word up, word up. So what's going on? What is the deal? Deal with the deal with the deal. What's going on with y'all, man? Sorry about that. I had to go get some. So yeah, man. I want to talk about Kamala Harris real quick. Trying to expose her real quick, you know. Expose the fact that her and Trump are down with BlackRock. Both of them. You know. Both of them is down with BlackRock. Man. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna play a couple videos real quick. This might not be too long. It might not be too long, man. But yeah, chill on the Saturday. It's hot as well. Out here in sunny Southern California, you know. So, all right. We're gonna share this out. I'm just gonna share this out real quick, but I'm gonna go in and play a couple videos real quick before I get off here about Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? Grimy Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything about so far, man. It's funny how they announced the fact that she's gonna have she's using BlackRock as economical strategist, and then all of a sudden she comes out with a policy, right, on the economy, supposedly, right? Okay. You know, what's that all about, right? What is that all about, man? Yeah, so let me check this. Shit is bad boy on good. I mean, it's just not looking good for Kamala Harris right now. I'm not, you know. I just think that this all this political shit is a bunch of bullshit anyway. To be honest with you, let's just keep it honest. Let's keep it funky. Um, they already know who they're gonna select and elect anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point. That's the whole point. They already know who they're gonna select and elect, and that's the point. All right, so let me get into this real quick. All right, all right. So Yeah, man. What's really good? Kamala Harris is, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden she has a policy. All right, so let's get into this real quick. Yeah, man. So let's go into the video. Let's go into this video. All right, so let's see over here. Now, shout out to y'all check out Sabby Sab. All right, she's on YouTube. Y'all check her out. You know what I mean? She be spitting some fire. You know, check out her page. Like,
a .world domain name that inspires possibility, immerses, and welcomes.
So fair use, 1976 under section 107 of the Copyright Act. This gives me allowance to report on this video for commentary and educational purposes. All right.
Of President Biden's National Economic Council and a fellow at MIT Center for Energy and Environmental Policy Research. Where do they come from? These guys right here. Now, if you don't dig deeper, you're probably just like, okay, whatever. What's the big deal? Harris is also working with Mike Pillay, a former deputy national security advisor for international economics in the Biden White House. So she's already adding two people that were a part of the Biden administration. So when we talk about, well, how different would she be compared to Joe Biden? You see, she's keeping some of the same people. She's sliding them over. But who are these people? And this is the part I want you to see. Peep this, fam. Shout out to my comrade, Nick. He was the first one over at RBN to catch this. Listen to this.
Kamala Harris's economic policy is being written by BlackRock. Kamala Harris has chosen her economic advisors. And surprise, surprise, they worked at BlackRock. Once again, BlackRock is guaranteed to win another United States election. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, Raytheon, these are the capitalist institutions and oligarchs that actually run this country.
See how they do it? They fund both sides. That's how they do it. They fund both of them.
This is exactly why Kamala Harris has been very vague about her policy platform. She doesn't want people to know that BlackRock is writing it. Bernie Sanders and AOC are literally endorsing BlackRock economic policy. BlackRock directly funds and profit from war and genocide. So no wonder the Biden administration has been obsessed with starting and maintaining conflicts. BlackRock is already licking their lips at the prospect of rebuilding Ukraine. BlackRock is also directly arming, funding, and supporting the genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza. But you guys think Kamala Harris is going to stop that? Brian.
You see what I'm saying? See, this is why you always have to follow the money, right? BlackRock. You know why else BlackRock is really corrupt? BlackRock were the ones that bought those homes that were foreclosed during the 2008 housing crisis. BlackRock was the one that bought those homes, renovated those homes, jacked up the price. They're still buying single family homes. That's part of the reason why you can't afford to get one, because they're buying them. They're increasing the price and making it more difficult for everyday average folk to be able to put a down payment on a home. BlackRock wants you to be in a tiny micro box. BlackRock doesn't want you to have the single family home dream. BlackRock doesn't want you to have that. BlackRock wants you to live in a building, those little square box residential buildings those tiny apartments that were trending. That's what BlackRock wants you to do. So for the woman who said she fought back against these types of people in California, although she let off Steve Mnuchin, for the woman who fought back against companies and real estate predators that were doing this type of behavior, now she has assigned 2 people to advise her on her economic policy platform who came from BlackRock. Larry Fink is the owner of BlackRock. Larry Fink is a billionaire.
Hold up. Let me see if I have some. Shit, I just don't got it. Damn it, I don't got it. I played it in the one, my bad.
One of the ones you don't hear about that often. BlackRock is one of those companies that kind of like flew under the radar for quite some time. And then after 2008 housing crisis, the past couple of years, they have come more into the public spotlight. But for the longest time, people didn't even know what it was. They are playing against the everyday common man. It's wild, fam. It's wild.
Want to stop that? Brian Dees, the economic advisor for Kamala Harris, also works in the Biden administration. Are you guys starting to see how the revolving door works? Yeah. There is a direct revolving door of corruption between these capitalist institutions and their executives, then transitioning into working for government and crafting policy. And once their time in government is up, they return back to the private sector, take giant salaries as payment for doing their bidding. This is what the real deep state looks like. American democracy is completely cooked, and so many Americans don't even realize it yet.
At Jimmy John's, just $10 get you a full 8 inches of any original sandwich, Jimmy chips, drink, and a dessert. It's a deal so good, we didn't have to spend a lot on this ad. Oh, but we could afford confetti. Order the $10 total package meal only at Jimmy John's.
Joining us now is Matt, certified DEI expert.
Here's my certification.
What is DEI?
Shout out to Nick for that. Nick and Hotspot, they are doing the damn thing. I love the Hotspot videos. But this is very important. And I want to remind you of something, ladies and gentlemen, because I noticed that she continues to say that she's going to build for the middle class. We need to build up the middle class. Notice that you never hear them mention the working poor. You never hear them mention the people that are below the poverty line. It's always the middle class, right? Because they don't really plan to do anything for people below the poverty line. They don't really care about those people, and they see them as disposable. That's just the reality, folks. They don't care about poor people. They don't care about people that are working poor. They see those people as disposable. So she wants to try to build up the middle class, she's saying. We got to help the middle class, yada, yada. Now, I told you and I showed you a chart on this show that showed you who was at the bottom when we talk about wealth in this country, and that Black people are at the bottom when we talk about who has wealth in this country. So we had this conversation a while back. We did a little bit of math on the show. So if you are a Black American and you live in this country, you should definitely pay attention to who Kamala have advised her on economic policy, because we are at the bottom. Not everyone's falling for it, though. I love the people that don't fall for it. Like this woman right here. Shout out to Hotspot who caught this one. Black people understand that Kamala Harris has done absolutely nothing for them. Listen to this one, folks.
You don't know what you're talking about. She's done a lot for us. Do your homework. Listen here. I've been Black this whole time. This whole lifetime, I've been Black. I've been around nothing but Black people. I've been in nothing but Black communities. I've worked nothing but Black ass jobs. I am telling you, if she did so much for us, I wouldn't have to do my homework. I wouldn't have to Google it. I wouldn't have to look it up because I'm Black. I would be living the benefits of her doing the work on behalf of me. That's how that goes.
Does everybody get that? Right. Because again, have not done much for Black people. And if we want to talk about like the working class, the reality is the Democratic Party walked away from that years ago. Last time I remember Bill Clinton increasing the minimum wage. I remember that. And then it seemed like the Democratic Party started to become the party of Wall Street, Goldman Sachs. It's just like bringing in all these like big time investors, cozying up to Wall Street cats and the military industrial complex. So the Democratic Party walked away from the working class quite some time ago. And when we talk about economic platform for Americans, this whole thing of let's give people access to health care. Let's cut child poverty in half and let's do that again. These things are the bare minimum. We should not have poverty in this country at all. This is a rich country. We should not have kids that are part of poverty at all. So when they said they cut child poverty in half, no child should be experiencing poverty in this country at all. You could cut all of it. If you decrease the military budget, you can get rid of all of it. The homelessness crisis increased by 25% under the Biden administration. Now, yes, the pandemic had some play in that, let's be honest, but at the same time, the response to let me give you just this little stimulus check and you'll be okay. Everybody knows if you live in paycheck to paycheck, that's just a Band-Aid on a wound, boo. If you want to actually heal the wound, you have to give people a thriving living wage. People need the opportunity to be able to have home ownership in this country. We have turned into a country of forever renters, and a lot of those people are Black. So think about that. They gave you, when I said they gave you crumbs and people were harsh on me and they said, Sabs, you just need to give them a break and thank them for something. These were people that have never been in an economic position where they had to struggle. These were people that have never been poor. These were people that don't live paycheck to paycheck. It's really easy to say that to people if you're a millionaire. It's easy to say that to people if you're a billionaire. George Takei from Star Trek, get off of Twitter, boo. George Takei is on Twitter telling people that he is upset that people don't want to support the Biden administration and don't want to support the Democratic Party and are complaining about economic issues in this country. But
Dawson, what you up to? How's your day going, man? Salute. You know what I mean? And then after this, what else I got? I got some shit over here. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and I got another video.
George Takei is rich. Same thing with Stephen King and Robert Reich and all these celebrity, peeps that are criticizing poor working class people because they're complaining about the economy. Always remember that and where people came. And even when you look at someone like a Kamala Harris, no, like she didn't grow up rich, but she wasn't poor either. Anytime your mom can move with you and your sister, and we're talking about single mom, can take you and your sister and you guys can move to Montreal and you get to attend one of the prestigious schools in Montreal, you weren't poor. Anytime you were able to turn around and go to Howard University is a private school, it's a HBCU, but it's private and it's expensive. My parents couldn't afford to send me to Howard.
Right.
It's not like her mom didn't come here. See, think about these things now. When we talk about people struggling economically in this country, it's a different type of struggle when you are a PhD student and you are just poor. Because as a PhD student, you know you're going to be strapped for money for a little bit of time, probably 5 to 7 years, depending on how long it takes you to get that PhD. But typically here nowadays is 5 to 7 years. I know I used to advise PhD students. So you might be strapped for, money a couple years here and there. But once you get that PhD, those things change. So it's not like they stayed that way. Now compare that to a single mom that's living in the projects that is not in school trying to get their PhD. Compare that to a single mom that also has 2 kids, just like Kamala Harris' mom did, and the father is not in the home, obviously, and
That's true. Says apples and oranges. Pioneer, what up? What up? Oh shit. Pioneer up in this motherfucker. In the house, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, y'all, man? Just talking about this bullshit, talking about this cackling Kamala Harris, man. So let me play the rest of this real quick. I'm gonna go on another clip.
They got to work 2 jobs and they don't have the resources or the connections or the network to pick up their kids and move to Montreal and send them to a prestigious school.
Yeah, she lived in Canada. It's just, her mom and them were the elite in India. So, they're going to be the elite out here. I just don't like when these politicians, man, they talk about economics and this and that and money and struggle. They never went through it. They have a silver spoon in their mouth. They can't relate to you or me. It's just, and none of these politicians will ever, most of them, they didn't really come from no struggle like that, man. And they don't really, and even if they did, they're going to forget where they come from anyway, I think it's Italian. I don't know. I think. Right? It's something. It's something.
Hello. This guy isn't falling for it either. I love what he says here. Black man flames celebrities for pushing Kamala Harris. He's right on point. Listen to this.
Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and get some shit off my chest. Because for about the past, 2 weeks maybe, I've seen a lot of Black celebrities and media personalities and so-called journalists make it their business to try to shame and denigrate and shun and insult the intelligence of Black men because they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. They are actively out here villainizing Black men for not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. And I said it before and I will say it again. They think they own us. They think they own our fucking vote. They want us to believe that we have some sort of obligation to them, that when it's right for them, we should play identity politics and vote for her because she's Black.
Damn. But honestly, that just goes to show how silly Black people be, man. That just goes to show how silly we be, man, and how quick to just, we just how much followers we are, and we just don't think. A lot of us don't do no research, man. We just like get into our emotions, Very emotional people, man. We emotional like a motherfucker. We're too emotional, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. We got to, stop being so emotional, because the more emotional you are, the less logical you are. So, he said, most deaf, you stupid.
And now they're pushing the narrative that we're dumb, that we're uneducated, we're misinformed. We don't know what the fuck's going on. And the crazy thing about it is, it's the complete opposite. The people who are running away from Kamala Harris are the people who are informing themselves, who are researching, that actually know what the fuck is going on and just not letting themselves be told any goddamn thing. That's the reality of the situation. So, it's astonishing to me to see it, though, where you have these people. They sending out these black women and these bootlicking ass men, right? The Van Joneses, the Bakari Sellers, the Roland Martins, right? The DL Hugleys, even Plies, and it's a whole bunch of them who are trying to shame black men for thinking for themselves.
A bunch of them are has-beens too. A bunch of them are then maybe they need to check. Maybe they need the money because their careers ain't popping like they used to be or something. I don't know. But most of the people he just named are has-beens.
Because that's all they doing. We're thinking for ourselves. They're just like when a slave owner didn't want you to learn how to read. Because once you learn how to read, you have knowledge, and knowledge is power. And that's the problem. No, watch MSNBC. Don't do no thinking. Let us tell you what to think. Huh? Don't you want to see a black woman president? Don't you want to see somebody who belonged to a sorority? Don't you want to see a black woman get sworn in by a black woman on Martin Luther King's birthday? A whole bunch of token shit that don't mean a goddamn thing. That's what they want us to vote for. Y'all out your motherfucking minds, man. I was listening to Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley talking about in regards to black men, they not doing the right research. What? Who the f you talking to, Ricky Smiley? They not doing the right research. So because we're thinking for ourselves, we're not doing the right research. We're supposed to listen to you.
That's the
right research.
They'll
and
never
we're going to
say
just
white
keep
men.
seeing more and more of this shit. Joy Reid telling black people, you're going to look.
They don't never say white men aren't doing the right research. They never talk about the dude. I mean, and that just goes to show too, everything is discriminatory. And it's just like, if you think about it, it's, you know, they run the segregation game just like, oh, the white voter and the white and the black voter and the black woman voter and the white, you know what I'm saying? It's always the black voter this and the black woman voter that. Because they know that we're easily influences. To me, that's what I think. You know what I mean? And they're paid entertainers, like Pioneer just said. Ooh, what else do you expect for people to get? What else do you expect for people who get paid to lie for a living? Ooh, facts. Pioneer fitness knowledge.
Look weird. What, we in the 6th grade? Don't nobody give a fuck about looking weird. We worrying about the issues, the economy, our communities, our children, our futures. What the f you talking about looking weird? See, that's the dumb shit. See, that's for weak-minded people. And they just going to keep going, bro. You get all the narratives is going to keep going. Oh, sellout, coon, traitor. Oh, you hate black women and all that cool. Bakari and Van Jones up on CNN crying and boo-hooing. Don't nobody give a too smart to fall for that shit, man. So y'all could keep rolling that shit out. We're going to keep standing 10 motherfucking toes down. Get out of here. Love the black man until he wants to think for himself, till he wants to form his own opinion, until he stops seeing himself as a victim, and then he becomes the enemy. And I'm watching this happen in real time. It's happening right now. And all you got to do is keep your eyes open, pay attention, and you can see it clear as day. It is real. So I'm saying all that to say, if you an actor, a rapper, a comedian, or anything else, you're not going to dictate our decision by calling us names and trying to make us feel bad. You.
He's 100% on point, and they're doing it. There are a number of, they got black celebrities calling out black people who don't want to support Kamala Harris, and not just those who don't want to support Kamala Harris, but those who are complaining about the economy. They're telling us to shut up and vote. They're telling us, don't you dare complain about it. Steve Harvey is out there telling people, you can't ask for anything. Don't ask for anything for your vote. Again, another rich person. Ricky Smiley, too. That's why he called out Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley, DL Hughley. All these people are rich. These people are celebrities. These people are in spaces and invited into spaces that you and I would never step foot in. Never step foot in. So it is very clear what they're trying to do. The Kamala Harris campaign, they have latched themselves onto black celebrities, entertainers, and getting them to not only support the campaign, but to shame other black people who are complaining. They got them to go against their own people. And I'm telling you, with these BlackRock execs, her attaching them to her economic policy platform, they're going to give you scraps. They're going to give you the bare minimum. That's what you're going to get. They're not going to give you anything that's going to dismantle or disrupt corporate America, okay? They're not going to.
Yeah, why would you you know, have a you know, people economically advise you that are in one of the biggest, you know what I'm saying, corporations that you get, you know, possible. And then you're not trying to talk about you're not for the corporation. That's bullshit. That's a damn lie. You're all for the corporation. You know what I'm saying? You're all for the corporation. So how could you say, you know, oh, I'm gonna we're gonna make sure the little businesses don't this and that, and that's all lies. Or we're gonna make sure that the middle class. What you mean middle class? How is it the middle class? And why do you even care about the middle class when you're down with these big corporations? But BlackRock is corrupt. Trust me, man. Trust me, it's corrupt. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going. I'm gonna play something else right now.
Do anything like that. Now, I don't always agree with Dr. Umar. In fact, sometimes Dr. Umar says some off the wall shit. Let's just keep it real. But I agree with him here. He also was telling you, what do you mean? You're not doing anything for us economically. Listen to this.
We are the laughing stock of the
stupid.
United States. Don't you find it interesting that when political candidates want the black vote, they don't come and talk to you. They don't come and negotiate with you. They don't come and reason you. When a politician wants the black vote, they don't come and talk to you. They don't come and listen to you. Kamala Harris hasn't scheduled any listening sessions with the black community. Donald Trump hasn't scheduled any listening sessions with the black community. When they want the black vote, they send Meg Thee Stallion in to shake her ass. And I love my sister. I'm just using her as an example. When you want the black vote, you don't talk to them. Entertain them. They don't think. Black people want to be entertained. If you want the black vote, go send Meg Thee Stallion in and let her entertain them. Black people don't need to be talked to. Black people don't need to be negotiated with. Black people don't need to be listened to. Black people don't need to be reasoned. Send some rappers in to entertain them. You have to entertain the black vote out of the Negro community.
And you don't see them do this with any other group in this country. You don't see them do this. Like, you don't see them go grab, what's his name? Enrique. You don't see them grab Enrique Iglesias and his daddy, Julio. You don't see them grab them when they're going to talk to people in the Latino community. You don't see them putting on those kind of shows. You don't see them grab a K-pop group when they're going to talk to Asian Americans in this country. You don't see that happen. They do that to us because they not really want to offer us anything. They don't really want to do anything. Fact. They don't want to do anything. Let's just throw, some entertainers, some dancers, some rappers in front of Black Americans and tell them to come out and support us. That's it. Damn. Don't talk about what we're going to try to do to help their communities or help rebuild some of these communities. Let's just show up with a rapper. That's how little they think of us. I hope everybody takes this home with them.
But we got to get off
Tell your kids. Tell your parents.
We got to get off that kind of mindset, though. We can't let them outsmart us like that. We can't let them keep duping us like that. We got to get off the entertainment mindset. There's a time and a place for entertainment. When you're at the fucking house chilling and shit, that's the time for entertaining, not fucking 24/7. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna have how you gonna get policy or anything else like that? Being on the entertainment tip. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Friends, this is how little the Democratic Party thinks about the Black community. Isn't that a damn shame?
Could you imagine if Kamala Harris wanted the Chinese vote and she showed up in Chinatown with a bunch of Chinese rappers rapping for the Chinese community to get the Chinese vote? Do you think she would get the Chinese vote after that? If Kamala Harris wanted the Arab vote, what if she showed up with a bunch of Arabic musicians in Dearborn, Michigan? Kamala Harris is going to show up in Dearborn, Michigan with a bunch of Arabic rappers. Do you think she's going to get the vote after that? That would be considered an extreme insult.
Yep.
That would be considered an extreme act of disrespect for every community except Black people. We have an anti-Asian hate bill. We got an anti-LGBT bill. We got a Native American bill. We got an immigrant bill. But you know what we're going to do for them? We're going to give them a Juneteenth.
No tangibles. Somebody asked me on Facebook the other day, what is tangibles? Who got the tangibles? Like, trying to be funny, knowing damn well it ain't Kamala Harris. I'll tell you who don't got the tangibles. Excuse me, it's not Kamala Harris. She just barely put a policy up, what, the other day, yesterday? Out of all, what, 50-something days, 60-something days? Come on, bro. Or almost 80-something days? Excuse me. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? During your culture and what up? Oh, that's true. Neither one is offering. You're right, about Pioneer. I don't know what happened with the platinum plan thing last time. I don't know why Trump is not trying to put that back. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, was he really sincere, or does he got to get back with Ice Cube? But that platinum plan was a good start, man. Like just for, and that was, from what I'm mistaken, I ain't mistaken. He said he was like something, like a startup something. It wasn't like that was just it he was gonna do, But I don't know, man. These politicians say they're gonna do shit, and then you know what I'm saying. Break it down, Pioneer. I'd appreciate it. Stop making up new laws and remove most of the existing laws so we can generate our own tangible. Ooh. Yeah, and then they make, you know what it is? They keep making new laws or like redoing them every year. I see what you're saying. Fix the fucking shit that's on the book now, and make sure that motherfucking shit is going to be permanent, and make sure it's going to be beneficial to the people. God damn it. Good point, Pioneer.
Cookout on the White House lawn. We're going to give black people a Juneteenth cookout on the White House lawn. That's what you do with black people. Parties and bullshit. That's all they care about.
Yep.
Parties and bullshit.
And in a lot of the communities, that's all they put in. They want to put in things like, and you can see the difference. If you are in Boston proper and you're walking around in Back Bay, you'll see the triple decker, the brownstone triple deckers. You'll see an Apple store on Boylston Street. You'll see Tesla, Nike, all that fancy jazz and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. Things that contribute and bring money into the neighborhood. But the moment you hop on that train and you go over to Roxbury, you go over to, I'd say, the southern part of Dorchester, you go to those neighborhoods, pawn shop on the corner, liquor store on the corner, right? Because that's all they want to give us. Listen, this was explained in the movie Boys in the Hood. Ooh. Remember when Trey's dad explained this? He said, look around. Why do you think you see a liquor store on every corner? Why do you think you see pawn shops on every corner? Because they want to keep you where you are.
That's all facts right there. That's some real shit. He's going to open was the plan to die. Is ever stupid, bro. Oh, that's dope. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Make some affordable housing, right? Make some job placement centers, make some trade centers. It's that simple. It's not hard. It doesn't take rocket scientists and even make some small motherfucking medical centers. Make some small urgent care centers. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. I know it's easier said than done. I know you need a lot of money and capital to make this shit happen, but it's not hard, man. It's not rocket science, dude. We make it seem like we need these white people to tell us we need them to be full step of the way. But at the same time, government does need to. For shit to work and shit to happen, and for you to make shit happen, you do need government in certain instances, or you do need loans. Excuse me, not necessarily government, but you need loans and you need capital. That's simple. I'm talking about, for these laws and certain things to change in the municipalities. That state and in the way government too. You know what I'm saying? But state, let's talk about state. It's crazy because if you vote in your local elections, does it benefit you or not? Because are you in a state where there's migrants and illegals and shit that are being flooded through that motherfucker? Or are you being displaced like places like California and LA? You see what I'm saying? Where it's only 6% of the black population used to be over, 40-50%? You see what I'm saying? So how do you vote for somebody? When you vote for a candidate out there, they're not going to do it or implement nothing for you because they're going to say, like old girl just said not too long ago, a couple months ago, that Latinos and Asians are the population in California or Southern California. So basically, fuck you because you're the minority, right? Ooh. Ooh. That damn Junior Coltrane and Pioneer spit some. We need our own party, dude. That's a good point, man. With our own agenda. That's a good you know what? You're right, because like the Asians don't vote in them like that, and they don't vote in high numbers, but they do have their own little parties. They do have their own little caucuses and shit. The Hispanic people got their own caucus. Black people have no caucus. That Congressional Black Caucus is not our caucus. That's just some rogue fucking renegade. What the motherfuckers say in Chicago? Renegade type fucking you know what I'm saying? Just establishment, man. They ain't shit. They don't represent us. They don't do that for us. So like the Pioneer said, we have to do for us, and that's right. Start our own party. That makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Texas cracking down hard on illegal. At the DMV office. When you get a new license or renewal, you have to show passport. Ooh, that's good. But see, Texas, Sharp Dawson, that's Republican, man. They're not playing. You already got what's his name already. You already got what's doing in the wheelchair? What's his name? What's the dude's name? Y'all got him. You know what I'm saying? Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott already don't play. You know what I'm saying? But see, that affects people in places like me and Pioneer, in places, Democratic states like New York and California. This kind of bullshit, sanctuary city, and all this 86 amnesty bill, fucking Ronald Reagan bullshit, all that affects places like California, New York. It affects places like DC. It affects places like Denver, and you know what I'm saying. But Dawson, that's dope, man. I like that. I love to hear that, man. I ain't gonna be in California too much longer. I'm telling y'all, it's too ridiculous out here. Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But New York is looking kind of worse than California. Well, I'm not gonna say worse, but New York is looking weird, man. It's just BJ, what's going on, man? New York is looking real weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. All right, so we're gonna play a little more of her, and I got another. What's her name?
You're going to the pawn shops, if you're going to the check cashing payday loan places, if you're going to the liquor store all the time, that's them trying to keep you where you are, trying to prevent you from getting out of that neighborhood and having a successful life out of poverty. But you don't see that in other parts of the Boston proper area. You don't see that. We have to wake up. And I'd say this to any community. I don't think other communities would do this. I see, like, when Asian Americans, when they collaborate and they organize together, they wouldn't allow this in their neighborhood. I don't think they would. I don't think this would happen. And so that goes to the local level too. It's not just about the president. That goes to the Democrats that are on the local level. They're doing it too.
That's all they care about. And then after they gave you a Juneteenth cookout on the White House lawn, they gave you a 50 years of hip hop destruction cookout at Kamala Harris's house. Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Kamala Harris threw y'all a 50 years of hip hop destruction cookout at her house with her snow puppy. That's what she did for you. She didn't pass no laws. She didn't drop off no resources. She didn't build no institutions or industries in the Black community. And this is the woman you're going to vote in.
So does everybody see the problem now? Everybody see the problem? So just keep all of this in mind when she releases her economic policy platform. Oh, and by the way, they're watching us. By the way, some of the people from these campaigns, they watch.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Speaking of that, let's get into this.
You are skeptical of this. Why?
Well, first of all, nobody can explain what price gouging means. It's like that old line about pornography. I know it when I see it, in the sense that what does it mean to have an excessive price or an excessive profit margin? That seems to be shorthand for a price or a profit margin that bugs me. That seems too high. So, it's very hard to pin down what this would actually mean. If you look at the legislation that, as I mentioned, is already in the Senate, led by Senator Warren and Senator Bob Casey and a slew of others, the particular way that this is written, which is likely to be the template for any proposal that Harris would eventually embrace, is especially bad in that it just bans excessive prices, grossly excessive prices, grossly excessive profit margins, and says.
And then she said in the new policy, she said she want to combat high grocery prices. But how you going to combat high grocery prices if the inflation is still high? The food prices ain't going to go down if the inflation is still high. That don't make no sense. Once the inflation goes down, don't you think the food price is going to go down? Because the manufacturers and the places that make the shit and distribute the shit, they feel the hit. Am I right or not? My bad.
That the Federal Trade Commission can use any metric it deems appropriate to decide what that would mean. Which basically says, like, it's not going to be markets, it's not going to be supply and demand that's determining how much your grocery store charges you for milk or for eggs. It's going to be some bureaucrat in DC, which seems like totally unworkable, first of all, for the FTC to be deciding like how much Kroger charges for eggs in Michigan. But it also would be very bad for markets. We've seen this kind of thing tried in lots of other countries before: Venezuela, Argentina, the Soviet Union, etc. It leads to shortages. It leads to black markets, plenty of uncertainty. And beyond that, the specific way this bill is written might actually increase prices because of some of the other language in it. Things like requiring public companies to disclose in their quarterly reports, their quarterly earnings reports, how they're setting prices, which is a great way to help them collude, which normally we don't want them to do. So anyway, the devil's in the details, I guess, for that bill, but it's really hard for me to imagine any form of legislation that preserves the spirit of what she's proposing that would not be, at best do nothing, at worst cause a lot of harm.
All right, now let's listen to this BS right here. Hold up, I want to hear her. All right, fair use. Listen to how ridiculous this sounds. Fair use 1976 under Section 107 under the Copyright Act. This gives me allowance to report on this video for commentary purposes.
Discover Tesoro Highlands, a new master plan community in the hills of Santa Clarita. Offering luxurious hillside living with stunning valley views, our single-family homes range from the high 700,000
up in poverty.
Listen to this foolishness.
Such as, after years of hard work, you should be able to retire with dignity. And you should be able to join a union if you choose. Building up the middle class will be a defining goal.
They always talk about the middle class. They don't talk about the working poor. Never talk about the working poor, though. Why is that?
Goal of my presidency. Because I strongly believe when the middle class is strong, America is strong.
No shit.
So in the weeks to come, I will address in greater detail my plans to build an opportunity economy.
So opportunity zone, Trump had opportunity zones and she has an opportunity economy. Just, that sounds mad similar. I don't know. Let's go.
And today,
she's stealing ID. I don't know. It's just all the same script. Bullshit. Same handlers. I don't know. Let's go.
Today, I will focus on one element that's on the minds of many Americans as they pay their bills at the kitchen table or walk the aisles of a grocery store. And that is lowering the cost of living. So every day across our nation, families talk about their plans for the future. their ambitions, their aspirations for themselves, for their children. And they talk about how they're going to be able to actually achieve them financially. Because look, the bills add up. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes, prescription medication. After all that, for many families, there's not much left at the end of the month. I grew up in a middle-class household.
You're lying.
For most of my childhood.
You're lying. God, these people lie, bro. Man, dude. How do you come from a middle-class childhood? You came from Canada. You know what I'm saying? Your mom was a scientist at some professor from school, activist, or pops is supposedly an activist. You know what I'm saying? You came from Canada. Your mom was a Brahmin Indian. That's the highest class of Indian that you could be in India. Like, come on, dude.
We were renters. My mother saved for well over a decade to buy a home. I was a teenager when that day finally came, and I can remember so well how excited she was. I kind of understood what it meant, but we called her Mommy. Mommy was so excited, it just made us excited that she was so excited. Later in college, I worked at McDonald's to earn spending money. Well, some of the people I worked with were raising families on that paycheck. They worked second or even third jobs to pay rent and buy food. That only gets harder when the cost of living goes up. When I am elected president, I will make it a top priority to bring down costs and increase economic security for all Americans. As president, I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during the pandemic when
they're still up though. It's been 4 years and they're still up. No, my bad, they went up. Wait up, that's not even true. They went up higher after the pandemic. They're high, the prices are going up. What is it? Man, these people be lying, man. They be lying, dude. You know, these people just lie too much, man. No enthusiasm. Motherfuckers are sitting there like, exactly, no enthusiasm.
when the supply chains shut down and failed. But our supply chains have now improved.
The motherfuckers is bored.
And prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost
under Biden. But see, this don't make no sense. You're the vice president now. That was under your administration. All this it went up under your administration. You're the vice president of the Biden administration. It went up under you. I don't get this shit. Do something about it now. See, these people know that people don't think. You know why people don't think? Because most people, they're like, oh, she's gonna do this and that. Oh, really? Oh, the plan. Oh, it's not gonna work. This and that. Oh, that sounds like some bullshit. Instead of thinking, wait. Why does she need to do this shit while she's president? Why don't they fucking do something now? Her and Joe Biden is still in office. They could enact something. It's still not too late. They can still run an executive order if they wanted to, and try to get through Congress or try to get something, through the House and the Senate, then have it put on Joe Biden's desk. That's how that works. They full of shit. They play too many games, man. They ain't doing nothing now, but they want to tell you when I get to be president. That's that pitch right there. Used car salesman type shit. Man, I know. Are they motherfucking? He said, Captain. She has the power for the last 4 years, exactly, and yet did nothing for us, dude, bro. That's because the real power isn't in the White House behind the scenes. That's a fact. That's a fact. I broke down the other day how that the shadow government works.
50%. Many of the big food companies are seeing their highest profits in 2 decades. And while many grocery chains,
of course, they've seen the higher profits because they fucking ripping us off.
Pass along these savings.
So are y'all.
Others still aren't. Look, I know most businesses are creating jobs, contributing to our economy, and playing by the rules. But some are not. And that's just not right. And we need to take action when that is the case.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices automatically.
Look how motherfuckers looking, bro. Even the black people, they're not. The black people looking like, it look like they got paid. Honestly, it looks like a lot of them motherfuckers got paid to be there, bro. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Not trying to be funny. It look like cats got paid to go there, man, and attend this little speech.
In California, I went after companies that illegally increased prices, including wholesalers that inflated the price of prescription medication, and companies that conspired with competitors to keep prices of electronics high. I won more than $1 billion for consumers.
The big cheat. Okay, Dawson, can I get that on YouTube, Dawson?
I will go after the bad actors.
The bad actors. They're letting you know when they say stuff that bad actors term. That what does that tell you? That a lot of this shit be psyops too. A lot of this shit be staged. A lot of this shit be fake. A lot of this shit does not be what it appears to be, dude. Let the psyops begin. Right?
And I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food. My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules. And we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead. We will help the food industry become more competitive because I believe competition is the lifeblood of our economy. More competition means lower prices for you and your families. Now compare what Donald Trump plans to do. He wants to impose what is in effect a national sales tax on everyday products and basic necessities that we import from other countries. That will devastate Americans. It will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, a Trump tax on food, a Trump tax on clothes.
They know that people, we're used to good guy, bad guy. We're used to movies. We're used to episodes. We're used to dark, sinister movies and shows where there's a protagonist and an antagonist, and if somebody wants to, make a crazy plan to do this and that, and the other person's trying to stop them, and they know it's a good guy, bad guy dynamic. A lot of people we're used to that, especially shit like wrestling and WWF and stuff like that. So they know that we're gonna go for this two-party system, this Hulk Hogan versus this Ultimate Warrior, or this Undertaker versus, you know what I'm saying, this Macho Man. You see what I'm saying? They both work for the same person. They both work for the fucking Vince racist ass Vic McMahon. Shit. Hell yeah, look, party, look. I'm gonna get shit done, man. You look, she's burnt like that, Junior Culture, and she's a lawyer, so she says all this bullshit word salad, you know. Well, all right. Damn. Montel. Yeah, dude. You know what, man? But see, the thing is, where I'm at, man, it's not too many black, you know, like, man, I'm gonna figure something out though, man. But I'm gonna definitely do some more grassroots stuff and some more stuff around California. I might have to start going to LA and doing shit, man, because that's where more of the black people are at. You know what I'm saying? Oh, right. Texas or Oklahoma. You know what? As far I was talking about just like doing some charitable work, but as far as relocating, yeah, I'm going. I don't think I'm gonna definitely go somewhere Republican this time. Man. I'm gonna try it out, man. Cause yeah, man. So what is her? Let me get to her plan real quick, man. Let me get to her plan. Let me wait. Hold on, because she said
a Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. And you know, economists have done the math. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. At this moment, when everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher. As president, I'll take on the issue of the cost of health care. As Attorney General, I took on insurance companies and Big Pharma and got them to lower their prices. And together with President Biden, we've gone even further. We capped the price of insulin at $35 a month, and the total cost.
But see, they know that most people wouldn't know that. Most people that aren't diabetic would not know the price of insulin before or after that. See, that's the thing. They give you broad and ambiguous. They say this and that. They know most people aren't going to research, and they know most people ain't going to know. I'm not a diabetic, so I wouldn't know. Does that make sense? There you go. I know you're right. Yeah, it is. Them Asians and Latino, you're right. Man, I know. Damn.
And the total cost of prescription drugs at $2,000 a year for seniors. We let Medicare negotiate lower drug prices for seniors. And just yesterday, we announced that we are lowering the price by up to 80% for 10 more life-saving drugs.
Clorox cleans 3 times better. We've got your back to school.
And I pledge to continue this progress.
Okay, wait. Let's just hear something. This is too long. Let's hold up. Let's just get something shorter. This because she said I seen this shit, but she summed it up. Now let's go. That's way too. I ain't that.
Well, we are learning more about Vice President Kamala Harris's economic agenda should she win November's presidential election. This morning, she announced several proposals for her first 100 days in office aimed at lowering costs for American families. They include a tax incentive to build a starter home up to $25,000 in down payment assistance to first-time home buyers, expanding the child tax credit, and a tax cut for lower-income individuals and couples. The announcement comes as she heads to the battleground state of North Carolina today. Yesterday, she appeared alongside President Biden for their first official joint event since he exited the 2024 presidential race. Meanwhile, former President Trump took his time on the campaign trail Thursday to slam the Biden administration, over inflation with a display of grocery items at a news conference at his New Jersey golf course. CBS News campaign reporter Hunter Woodall He's joining me now to talk all about this. What more are we learning about Harris's economic pitch to voters? And, I guess what components of it are likely to resonate?
Well, good morning, Anne-Marie. And when you look at this economic vision from Vice President Harris today, what's fascinating is the economy has been a challenge messaging-wise for Joe Biden's administration during this administration's time in Washington. Now, the proposals that Vice President Harris is rolling out today, her campaign is rolling out today, amounts to the most detailed policy vision that we've seen. What I'm going to be watching is how much she talks about the economy, not just today, but moving forward. We have, we only have 81 days out from the November 5th election day. And the economy, when I talk to voters, there are some voters who very much feel, they have warm memories of what the economy was like during former President Donald Trump's time in the White House. They're not as fond of what's happened during Joe Biden's time in office.
Do we have any idea how realistic her overall economic policy is? I know this expanded tax credit was something that, they tried to get passed before. I don't think they were successful.
And that's the key point. I'm so glad you mentioned that. With any presidential candidate's economic proposals, Congress is going to be a challenge. Now, right now, Democrats have a very thin majority in the Senate, and that's going to be a challenge that they very likely could lose the Senate this fall in the November election. In the House, they're about if Democrats win 4 seats, they're likely potentially to win back control of the House from Republicans. If that doesn't happen, if Democrats don't have control of the House and Senate, and Vice President Harris does become president, passing a big, bold economic vision is going to be a major challenge. Have control of the House.
Right here. Tax incentive for building starter homes. $25,000 down payment for the first. Now tell me, y'all homeowners, man, does that some bullshit? $25,000? That's it? A lot of times the down payment is usually more than that, or is it just me? But see, that child credit thing is the tax credit is only for new people with newborns. Why is it only got to be for people with newborns, though?
House and Senate, and Vice President Harris does become president, passing a big, bold economic vision is going to be a major challenge for this, a new Democratic administration, and that could really hinder all these proposals that she's rolled out today.
So obviously this is sort of a truncated campaign season for Harris. Does she look like she's kind of trying to get out as many messages as she can as quickly as possible?
There's just such a short window. As I mentioned, November 5th, there's about 81 days. Checking here, 81 days out from election day. This is the largest policy vision we've seen from the vice president so far in this race. And I just wonder how much this can really break through in that time, because in most presidential races, candidates have months and months and months. They're tested in primaries. They very much show what they mean, what they stand for.
Damn, look. Pioneer, that's facts. And where you going to be even getting that $25,000 if your ass ain't even working because Pedro has the job you should have? Ooh.
What they want to see passed.
And that's Kamala Harris. That's why another reason why I'm not feeling Harris is they're going to make sure, you know what I'm saying? But like Pioneer was saying, man, none of these presidents I don't know, man. Well, a lot of these governors weren't really deporting these motherfuckers. I don't know.
How much can this break through to voters in these 7 battleground states who really are concerned about the economy and how it affects their daily lives?
Right. Hunter Woodall, it was great talking to you. Thank you. And just a reminder to everyone that the Democratic National Convention, it kicks off next week. And CBS News will have special coverage of the events in Chicago.
All right, one more time. All right, man, what was I just watching the other day? They was fucking breaking it down. All right.
Now, Kamala Harris has been laying out her.
Costs are still too high. And on a deeper level, for too many people, no matter how much they work, it feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy.
Well, let's analyze that speech a bit with our North America correspondent, Nomia Iqbal, who joins us once again from Washington. Nomia, What was your assessment? This was her, as I say, her first big policy speech since she got the nomination, and very much about the economy, very much actually about inflation, which has been considered to be one of her vulnerabilities.
It's a major moment for her because she has been accused by her critics of being all style and no substance. They wanted to know, well, how do you plan to govern? What does a President Harris look like in the first 100 days? And the economy is the number one issue that voters care about: rising inflation, the cost of living. And she addressed all of that, what her vision was. Her speech was 30 minutes long, I think, which was pretty short, concise, if you certainly compare it to Donald Trump, who gave a speech in North Carolina also yesterday, and she laid out what her vision was. It wasn't anything radical from what we've seen regarding President Biden. I don't think we expected it to be. Of course, Biden and Harris together have developed their economy plan over the last few years. But I think what stood out was the way she kind of presented it. She can talk about the economy and people's fears with more ease than President Biden could. He was criticized for not showing enough empathy. He would often talk about how the economy is growing fast, unemployment is low, things are getting better, and all of that is factually true. But as you heard in the clip there, Ms. Harris did make the point of showing empathy, saying, well, actually, you can say all these things are going on, but if people don't feel that way, and if you don't go where they are, then they don't believe you. And it's something that's an important issue, as I say, because voters care about it. But the polls also suggest that they believe in Donald Trump's vision more, that they think he is stronger on the economy with his vision than she is. So it is a crucial issue for her to tackle, and she did that today.
Okay, Nomia, thank you very much indeed for that assessment. Nomia Iqbal there, our North America correspondent. Well, it isn't just Kamala Harris who's focusing on the economy at the moment. Her Republican rival, Donald Trump, has also been using his first major policy speech to outline his plans for the US economy, alongside promises to cut taxes, reform energy policy, and increase oil extraction. Mr. Trump also attacked Kamala Harris and President Biden for their handling of the economy. At one point, he held up 2 boxes of mints, one bigger than the other, to demonstrate inflation. And if you were watching this program last night, you might also have seen the former president flanked by a lot of household food staples on the tables there, amid claims of big increases in prices under the Joe Biden administration.
Hey, that's it.
So we're just going to check out some of those price rises. He is right that prices of most grocery staples in the United States have risen over the last 4 years. Food prices over the last year have actually risen by around 1%. That is according to figures from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics.
I don't trust that.
Now, the average price of a white loaf of bread, just for example, costs around the same, $1.98. There it is. Coffee prices in the US fell by 2% in the year to April. But one item where Donald Trump was bang on, egg prices. They are up around 46% over the last year. So back to our panel. Susie Boniface, Daily Mirror columnist, and also in Chicago, we have Chimi Asonye, a Democratic strategist. Chimi, let me go to you. Well, let's talk about how bad inflation is. I mean, eggs, blimey, very expensive. I guess you're not eating any eggs at the moment, are you?
Well, I am eating eggs, and we see the Kamala Harris ticket also doing a lot to talk about affordability and pocketbook issues. I think that when we really look at the speech she made, she had 4 areas that she wanted to tackle: housing, families, groceries, and healthcare. With things like housing, you saw tax incentives to build starter homes, trying to extend child $25,000 to start for first-time home buyers. We thought was really amazing, trying to crack down on things like lending prices and rent prices for families, expansion of the tax.
Giving somebody $25,000 for a damn home is not cracking down on rent prices. What the hell are you talking about? This dude right here is burnt out. I don't listen to none of these cats. You know what I'm saying? You probably down one of them goddamn sororities or something. I don't listen to none of these pounds, man.
Child tax credit, which really started during the COVID activities, and Biden, and it had expired. trying to increase paid family leaves, groceries, as you mentioned, with the eggs and things like that. We have seen these prices increase, but she wants to do things like have a ban on price gouging and have unfair mergers and acquisitions that are increasing some of these rates, unfortunately. With healthcare, she wants to do.
Do you think she is vulnerable?
Do
you think she is vulnerable on this question of inflation, that voters blame the Biden administration, of course, that she is part of, for higher prices?
She's not vulnerable when we see things like Trump talking about largely doing attacks on her on energy and immigration policy versus really detailing a vision of his own. You saw him surrounded in the last image by a lot of materials and grocery items, but not a plan to eliminate those things. And just to challenge one of the things that your respondent said, yes, generally there's been challenges when with the Democrats and the Harris Waltz administration talking about their trust on the economies. But for the first time, we see that turning around. There was a recent poll by the Financial Times and University of Michigan, and actually put Harris for the first time with individuals in Michigan trusting her on the economy. So laying out her vision and talking about affordability is really helping in that regard.
Just got a minute, Susie. What's your view of the Harris campaign? She does seem to be nudging up in the polls.
Yeah, she's working quite well in the swing states. She's been, I think, 4 points ahead in the first 3 swing states, according to a New York Times poll last week. I think it's Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. She was doing quite well. They've been out today talking about taxes on tips, which is the kind of thing which would go down well in places like Nevada, which is another state that she has to win. But, you know, she's sort of following the Keir Starmer playbook a little bit, right? She's not been mentioning an awful lot of policies up till now. Today's like the first time. She's just been playing all the whole, you know, I'm not a lunatic, vote for me.
Opera GX is the #1 browser for gamers. Let me explain why. Us being gamers and a large part of our lives being online.
See, and you know what I don't like? See, now all of a sudden, these Palestinians, they want to take the shine and they want to protest the Democratic National Convention, knowing that the black people from Chicago, grassroots black people from Chicago, was going to do that before them. You see, I don't like that. I don't like that. Damn. Who played that? Shoot, let me play this for me. Who played that though? No, y'all can't hear me? Okay, hold up. Let me see. Damn, what was was it actually?
Wrong algorithm as well. And Ministry for Industry viciousness, man. Because she then puts her foot down and says, listen, man, I'm going to say it however I want to say it, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And Michael Eric Dyson, what I want you to pay attention to next is pay attention to his body language. He is so mad. He is so frustrated. He is so aggravated, being the good DNC boy that he is, staying on script. His body language is going to look like he wants to just put it on her. All right? Check this out. Let me rewind that back just a little bit and let's carry on.
You almost got it. I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
No,
but
you mispronounce her and you also misjudge her.
I just did an
Look at this soft ass dude
right
here.
That's what we're doing to acknowledge her humanity.
If
I purposely mispronounce your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe Biden's policies. She owns
You're
it.
normalizing that kind of viciousness, man.
33 times.
But it's the
Mispronouncing someone's name is viciousness now, according to Michael Eric Dyson. This is viciousness, man.
She was the vice president.
How much are these people getting paid?
We know that times the deciding vote on Joe Biden's bill.
And let me just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being. But when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a
BS.
racist.
That is complete.
You don't have to intend racism to
No. You are
accomplish it.
intending that
Your
I'm
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala
and
Harris
that
is part and parcel of a tradition of disrespect.
It's offensive,
Congresswoman,
and it's offensive.
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm telling you what the practice is.
You are. You absolutely are.
No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Wow.
This gentleman said, I didn't know her name. He's trying to do it.
You hear even the CNN host is trying to calm him down. She's like, Professor. Let me run it back just a little bit. Professor, please relax. Professor.
Disrespect of Kamala Harris is part and parcel of a tradition of disrespect.
It's offensive,
Congresswoman,
and it's offensive.
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm telling you what the practice is.
You are. You absolutely are.
So now mispronouncing someone's name is racist.
Damn.
Everything is racist according to these guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but did you know math is racist? Google it. You think I'm joking? Math is racist. Math was created to keep the black man down. I'm just letting you know now, in case you didn't know this. Math was created to keep the black man down. Okay, Google it. Google math is racist. Everything is racist to these guys, and it's not to dismiss actual acts of racism or situations of real discrimination. But as I've said so many times now, when they false flag this type of stuff as being racist, it makes us all look stupid and ridiculous. It makes us all look foolish, especially in the face of real racism and discrimination when you're trying to call it out. If you're trying to call it out, if you want to say something about it, and people look at you as the boy or the DNC shill who cried wolf, because everything is racist, including math, including standardized testing. Standardized testing is racist. I don't know if you knew that or not, but when they created standardized testing, that was to keep the black man down. You know, you got to pass this test. And if you don't pass the test, I guess you just can't move forward in life. It was created just for us, apparently. Standardized testing and mathematics is racist. You don't think I'm joking? Look it up for yourself. Go look it up. Math is racist.
That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
Oh, so now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a
BS.
racist.
That is complete.
No, you don't have to intend racism to
No. You are
accomplish it.
intending that
Your
I am
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala
and
Harris
that
is part and parcel of a tradition of disrespect.
It's offensive,
Congresswoman,
and it's
why can't you
it's
just?
offensive.
I'm not calling you a
Disgusting.
racist. I'm telling you what the practice is.
You are. You absolutely are.
Disrespecting. No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor,
this gentleman said,
you know what?
I didn't know her name. He's
to
trying
women
to do
is
it.
her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25 years.
Who said black women weren't real women?
What is he talking about?
The level at which we've seen black celebrities,
we don't
these black political pundits crash out
people don't represent
over a biracial Indian woman is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen this many people, as it pertains to black political pundits and black celebrities, crash out like this over someone who's a biracial Indian woman. They're not even black for real like that.
They don't believe
biracial
it, right?
Indian woman, and are going crazy, literally going crazy. Now, Michael Eric Dyson is telling this woman that black women paid the cost in blood to be women, and you can't tell black women that they're not women. But nobody ever said that black women weren't women. I ain't trying to Terry. What D.L. Hughley said, man, look, Michael Eric Dyson, I ain't got time to Terry. Okay. Michael Eric Dyson, I got time to, I can't play with you, man. I ain't got time to Terry. I ain't got time to Terry, Michael Eric Dyson. You got to knock it off. I ain't got time to Terry.
I mean,
you are. You absolutely
are. No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor,
this gentleman said,
you know what?
I didn't know her name. He's trying to do
is
it.
her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25 years.
I'm gonna let it play. That's so stupid. Michael Eric Dyson is talking about. I didn't know black women weren't real women, but I mean, I guess that's according to Michael Eric Dyson, they're not.
You care for your baby.
25 years ago, I became the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. I fought my way through it.
So pronounce her name right.
Sweat, and tears.
So pronounce her name right.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
You said we're not calling you Nancy.
Come on.
He said, we're not calling you Nancy. That doesn't even make sense. These guys are crashing out and incoherent. Look at his body language, though. Let me zoom in just a little bit when he's saying Kamala. He looks like he wants to put hands and feet on this woman. And shout out to DSB for holding it down. I'm going to get to the super chats at the very end of the stream. Thank you all for showing love today, especially DSB. DSB, I appreciate you showing out and showing love for me because I was hating in Rob's stream earlier. All right, so I appreciate you making me feel better after being jealous all in Rob's stream earlier today. But look at Michael Eric Dyson's body language right now and how he looks like he wants to. I know you'd be able to see it better if I didn't have my logo in the way, right? Like, do you want you to remove your logo? No, I'll leave it there.
To women is her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25 years ago, I became the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. I fought my way through it.
So pronounce her name right.
Let me actually
pronounce her name right.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala. You said we're not calling you Nancy. Come on. You're doing this on purpose, Congress.
He said, we're not calling her Nancy. We're not calling you Nancy. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, these people, man.
Why is everybody drunk when they get on national television?
Why they all jumping?
That's the same stuff that D.L. Hughley was doing. We're not calling you Nancy. Are you drunk or is the Joe Biden kicking in? Everybody's either drunk or the Joe Biden is starting to hit and kick in early. This is crazy.
Wow.
This is crazy. We're not calling you Nancy Nancy. What does that even mean? You just said her name right 2 times in a row. Ridiculousness. And also, and I want to keep highlighting this as well, because it comes down to like just the great hypocrisy of the DNC with all of their whining and crying and false flagging racism, false flagging sexism, this, that, and the third. Throughout the time that we've been watching this, could you ever imagine conservative Republican men on Fox News bullying a woman like this on national television for that to slide? You all know what I'm going to say. The wailing and gnashing of teeth would be crazy. The wailing and gnashing of teeth. Roland Martin would be losing his mind on his YouTube channel right now if the roles were reversed. Would be going completely insane. But these guys are bullying her, and it's cool. It's cool. There's no problem here at all whatsoever. As long as it's DNC shills that are doing it. As long as it's DNC shills that are doing it, it's cool. Anybody else, you're misogynistic, you're a sexist, you don't like women, and if she's black, well, don't you know your mama is black? You must not know your mama is black. How could you talk to the black woman like this? You didn't know your mama was black?
And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25
They
years
care
ago,
for your babies
25 years
and
ago,
respected
I
your
became
humanity.
the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. I
So call
fought
her
my
name
way
right.
through it.
So pronounce her name
blood,
right.
sweat,
Let
and
me
tears.
actually pronounce her name
and
right.
Kamala Harris, if I were a man,
You said
I
this.
will
We don't call you
say
Nancy
anything
Nancy.
I want.
It's Kamala. You're doing this on purpose, Congress.
Effeminate men, man. That's effeminate.
If a man put on a skirt and
This is
walked that
effeminate, man. That's all I gotta
25
say.
years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from
problematic.
women.
You're a white
Michael Eric Dyson said,
disrespecting a black woman. Wow, bro. Wow.
you're a white woman disrespecting the black woman, that is problematic. But the problem is that Kamala Harris is a biracial Indian woman. So she's not actually doing that. First and foremost, she's not doing that. But also, it's not disrespect when you're mispronouncing someone's name wrong after you've been allowed to say it wrong for 4 to close to 5 years straight. And now all of a sudden you want to play games and flip the switch and say, oh, because you're saying the person's name wrong, now you're engaging in hate speech. That's completely ridiculous and it's completely foolish. But these are the games that are played by the DNC. And look at his face. Michael Eric Dyson is so disgusted. He's disgusted, but I'm disgusted with him.
It's like you got a fart. Like he look like you got a man. Like he on the toilet or something. That shit's burnt out, man. Constipated, looking crazy, man.
U.S. Bank has a business checking account that has no monthly maintenance fee and smart tools that make forecasting cash flow a walk.
This guy is a complete clown. He's a joke. He's not as smart and intelligent as he would all like you all to believe. He just says a whole lot of nothing. He's the rapping intellectual professor who talks and uses a whole lot of big words and he rhymes them all together because I guess he at some point in time wanted to be a rapper. So instead of just articulating himself like a normal person, he does everything in rhyme form. You know what I mean? When you have a moment, it was really embarrassing. It was really embarrassing. Go check out the debate. Him and Jordan Peterson did a debate. Jordan Peterson embarrassed Michael Eric Dyson. And I was embarrassed. I had secondhand embarrassment watching it. I was like, come on, bro. You know, like you going out sad looking crazy. You look crazy right now. I forget what the debate was about, but look it up if you get a chance to. If you just want to see Michael Eric Dyson look goofy, like how he's looking right here.
That motherfucker, bro. God damn, that shit is funny, man. All right, let me go on another video real quick, man. All right, shout out to Phil Scott. Check out his channel.
Oh, she went to HBCU. She's an AKA. I'm voting for her for that reason.
but you're not thinking of what she's proposing. So they're gonna make, so you think the food trash now is gonna really be trash after the fact, because they're gonna be cutting all kind of corners. They're gonna be a shortage of food on top of that, because what incentive do they have to make more? Right. That's where the shortages come from. And say, man, look, I'm not gonna be making all this if all I can make is this, and it's costing me X amount for production. Well, we got to lessen production so we can make a profit. That's where your food shortages come in at, right there we are talking about. But see, obviously Vice President Kamala Harris has no business background, or she's not surrounding herself with good people, good business people. Me, if it were me and I'm running for something, I want the top economists around me. I want the top business people, all the people from the Wharton School of Business. I want everybody around me. And I'm saying, hey, what I'm about to do, how is that going to affect things? You ain't got to be the smartest person in the room. You can just have the smartest people around you and the smartest people working with you. And they can make you look like you're the smartest guy in the room. You don't got to have all that education. You can have all the Harvard grads and everybody around you giving you the best advice. Of course, you need to be smart enough to listen. But this lady's not thinking. So you're going to cause a food shortage, which can cause civil unrest, right? Look at Venezuela. They did the exact same thing. You don't believe me? Look it up. And guess what happened in Venezuela? They had food shortages. They were rationing food to people. Why? Because Maduro was doing similar things just like that in Venezuela. But she wants to bring the same failed policies of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela and want to bring it to America because her administration messed up, and that's why the prices are where they are. It's her administration. How can you come up here talking about I'm voting her because she's black and you can't afford a carton of doggone eggs or milk? That's what I don't understand with y'all. Then you get in the thick of it, and then you're crying. I can't afford nothing. I don't know what I'm going to do. Why you didn't think about that before you went and voted for her just because she's a black woman, right? She's an AKA ski-wee, right? You're only voting for that reason. You're not voting because think about say, what policies is she presenting? What is she actually discussing? How is what she's doing already while she's in office? How is that affecting my overall life and my paycheck? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about nothing else but the dollar bill, y'all. It's about your bank account. If you better understand that harsh reality, all that symbolism crap, I can care less. When I work, I want to keep my money in my bank. And if I spend this because I chose to, I don't want food taking all my money. I don't want insurance. Everything is through the doggone roof. Everything. Let me see if hold on, it just popped in my head. What do I have that graph on here? I had a graph. Let's see, where is it at? Doggone it. Hold on, I can find this graph. I had a graph about, here we go. It's right there. Okay. Boom. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all something. And this was posted. Now, you want to reward somebody who screwed up this royally. Okay, I'm putting it in front of myself and I'll get off the screen here in a second. Just bear with me. All right, here we go. Right here. Okay. Okay. Let me remove myself.
Damn, look at that.
If you look at this graph, this was posted by a congressman.
That's not good.
Under the Trump administration right here, the inflation rate was 1.4%. The current inflation rate, 8.3%. How are you going to go reward Vice President Kamala Harris with a presidency and you have an inflation rate 8.3%? They claim some of it's trying to slow down, whatever. How? Do you want 10% inflation? Do you want 12%? Now, when Trump was in office, the average price is $2.39. Let me tell y'all something, y'all. I have to use premium for my vehicle. And I was paying $1.99 a gallon for premium under Trump. $1.99 for premium. You hear me? So regular was like $1.50 something under Trump. Yeah, you're right. Speaking my mind, you're right. In the Soviet Union, it didn't work either. It failed. Now, the average gas price, at least on this graph, when they posted, it was $3.76 a gallon. We're talking about average, we're not talking about California. 30-year mortgages, which is like your house, 2.65% under Trump. 30-year mortgages now 7.08%. Average rent cost, $1,625. Now the average rent went up to $2,039. Let's say the NASDAQ was up 13,342, is down 10,829. Grocery prices increased 3.7% under Trump, and that's under actually a global pandemic. Remember that. Grocery price.
That's ridiculous. Man, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And they still be eating, man. I mean, those figures don't. That's oh man.
Increased 13.5% under the Biden-Harris administration. Remember, it's the Biden-Harris administration. She's just as responsible as Joe Biden is. And she wants you to reward her with 4 years to what? Double on these numbers? I can understand if she got in office and they took it lower than what Trump left it, then okay, that's different. Electricity rose 1.5% under Trump, 15.8% under the Biden-Harris administration. Real average hourly earnings increased 4%. Real average hourly earnings decreased 2.8%. So we're supposed to go and reward the Biden-Harris, that definitely Vice President Kamala Harris. We're supposed to go reward her with 4 years to keep on doubling those numbers. Then, on top of that, let's go back to the video, because I think she said something else I want to point out. So give me a second.
My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules, and we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead.
Okay. The best way, if you really want to support smaller food places, they need capital. I mean, penalizing Kroger and none of these companies, and I'm talking about, I have no affiliation with them, but I'm just being real. Penalizing Kroger, penalizing HEB, penalizing whoever, how that's going to make it better? If anything, if you want to help expand food in this country, our farmers need money. Look at the black farmers. Y'all claim we just paid black farmers some money. No, that was an all lives matter minority deal. That was not just the black farmers, but they put the Democrats, what they like to do, they'll put a black face on something and say, look, we did this for black people and minorities. They never put the minorities on the graphic. They always put the black person's face, and then they go give it to everybody else. But if you really want to help food, you help our farmers, and then the smaller grocery stores, why don't you give them access to capital? Have a rule. Hey, we want to turn in 3 years tax returns. Let's see what you've been doing. Hey, let somebody come to the store and see what they got going on or something, whatever. But give these people access to capital so they can grow their grocery stores. We need grocery stores in the black community, and we want grocery stores in our community by people that's in the community. We're not saying for Kroger to come through there or Walmart. No, mom and pop business is the best business. Small business. Now, small business is any business that has under 50 employees. So small business in our communities was really the lifeblood of every community. You could do that. But that's not what you're going to do. You're sitting up here, ma'am, lying. You saying the Boule? Hold on. Anna says the Boule Circus is saying she can't do nothing as VP. They say that's not how it works. That's a lie. She can do something if she want to. Right now, Biden is considered lame duck. She can go to Biden right now and say, hey, since he's a supporter, hey, I want to do this food thing. You're president right now. Hey, let's go ahead and do it. We do it together. And then I can run on that. Man, come on. No, the Boule is working to get y'all to elect this lady so they can get their checks. That's it. You gotta remember the Boule is this.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread.
That's all they want from the Democrats, their biscuits. That's it. That's what they're fighting for. So of course the Boule is going to say that. Boule Martin, Boule Smiley, Boule Hughley, Boule Harvey, all of them. Of course they're going to say that. They're fighting for their butter biscuits. If y'all black folk don't come out there and vote for Vice President Kamala Harris, they butter biscuits are getting cut off. They fighting for their life. What are you talking about? They fighting for their life. Now you mentioned about the Capitol or whatever, tapping in the Capitol and things like that. These people got money. Look all the money they're giving to migrants. They got money to give to these small businesses out here. I'd rather give the money to small businesses and communities than give a migrant any day of the week. Why? If they are hiring people locally in the community, I want to give them money. If they are hiring people who coming out of prison, especially people that's on probation, and they're hiring people out of prison and they're giving them a second chance, I want to give them more money. So we don't have these people having to feel like they have to go back to committing crimes because now they have a job. I'm a firm believer of this. If you keep a man working and if you keep a man tired, he can't commit a crime. That's the problem in America. If they would bring manufacturing jobs back to this country, right? If they would, now Trump talked about it. I don't know how serious he is about doing it, but if you brought manufacturing jobs back to this country and you say, hey, it don't matter if you're a felon, it don't matter about whatever, come get this job, and you must be a U.S. citizen, and we will e-verify everybody. Because see, that's what stopped the immigrant deal, e-verify. E-verify will prove you a U.S. citizen or not. And now, if she won't say we about to pass a law where every company in the United States have to do mandatory e-verify. Notice they're not saying that. They're not saying it because they all complicit in wanting illegal immigration. So if y'all want to fight, if y'all really want to stop a lot of this illegal immigration, you got to push for a federal push for e-verify. Like it's mandatory for if you got a company, your employee got to be put in the e-verify system. And if you come inspect your company and you got anybody working for you and you know good and well it came back that they didn't pass e-verify, then they gonna go and you gonna get either a deep fine or some jail time. Because you said that employee, we told you that employee wasn't legal. He didn't have a green card, he didn't have a work permit, he didn't have nothing. And you still got him there? I'm telling y'all right there, if you want to fight for something, fight for e-verify on a federal level. Shoot, Trump need to say that too, that he want mandatory e-verify for every corporation in this country. I don't care who you hire.
Will he do it
has to
though?
be mandatory e-verify. You cut off the workload that they can get, then it eliminates some of that. But at the same time, this is what they're going to do. They'll try to just pivot to creating their own companies or working for themselves. That will be the pivot. Vice President Kamala Harris, as you saw
What's happening, guys? Josh here from everydayfba.com. This month has been especially nice for affiliate commissions from System.io. I managed to earn over $1,000.
I'm gonna get off here.
The video with the sister. their administration is papering up migrants to the point they can buy food trucks. So even if you do mandatory E-Verify, if this guy got a food truck and he cooking food and doing all that on the food truck, well, he worked for himself, so you can't really tell him nothing about mandatory E-Verify, but it's still something that we could put in place that can actually help. But remember, the Democrats, they don't believe in that. They don't believe in the rule of law for them, just only rule of law for you as Black Americans.
That's a fact.
Now, another thing here, she stated she wants to give $25,000 for first generation, that's the word she used, home buyers. Now, if you're a person that don't know much, you're gonna like, oh, wow, you're going to give $25,000 down payment assistance? Here's the problem. Do you remember Joe Biden's Lift Every Voice plan? I do. And in Joe Biden's Lift Every Voice plan that was supposedly directed to the Black community, he said that he would give $15,000 down payment assistance. How many of y'all got the $15,000 down payment assistance for you to buy a house from the Lift Every Voice plan the whole time the Biden-Harris administration been in office?
Wow.
I don't know nobody that's got it. Do you know anybody that got that $15,000? So I guess you're going to be like, you know what? He said 15. I'm going to say 25. Where the money going to come from, Kamala? No, if you do it, I know who it's going to go to. It's not going to go to me as an American citizen. It's not going to go to a lot of you as American citizens. You know where it's going to go. You know. If it don't go to citizens, who is going to go to? That same dude that tried to buy that sister's food truck. It's going to go on to him. It's going to him. And he going to get him a house. And you not going to have one. Now, let's say she do that. Okay, you give everybody $25,000 down payment assistance. Okay, cool. Sounds great. Here's the problem. They just going to raise the price up by $25,000. So the only way you really could stop people from doing that, you had to put another ban, right? That you can't raise the price because the person got down payment assistance. So I guess that's a ban coming too. So they're going to raise it $25,000 because they already know that people got up to $25,000 for down payment assistance, right? On top of that, she's not saying what she should be saying. If I'm the guy and I'm running for president and I know it's a problem with homes, this is what I would say. I will not allow hedge funds to scoop up single family dwellings. I won't do it because we have people that do not, they do not have homes. Now, if this company wants to build their own homes and they want to build it for rent, that's on them. I can't stop them. But houses on the market, you can't have hedge funds buying up the block, buying up all the neighborhood and putting every house for rent. No, then people will not be able to get their American dream. So no, big corporations cannot just go up and buy the block. No, it has to be, if it's a single family home, then it should be a regular owner, not a big corporation, not a big hedge fund. That's something that she should say. And I'll be like, okay, that I can support. Because what's happening now, not too far in Missouri City, there's one spot off of Highway 6 called Inspire Homes I saw. And I seen them building all these homes and say, oh, they build a new neighborhood. Y'all, this whole big subdivision is all rent homes. All rent homes. That could have been single family homes for a lot of people, and every last one of them were rent homes. That's what they are.
Right.
It's kind of like that statement, you will own nothing and be happy. That's about where a lot of people at now. You will own nothing and be happy.
Thanks.
How can you trust Vice President Kamala Harris to make the financial situation better. And remember, she's been in office since January 2021. Her and Biden caused a problem. They caused a problem. So I expect you to fix it. And your idea so far has just been all the way wrong. You're going to cause food shortages and mass hysteria. You're going to cause that. Then you're going to cause more inflation. As one person said earlier, you're going to cause more inflation because home price is going to jack up because of what you're trying to do with this down payment assistance. Creating double the inflation, shrinkflation with the food quality going to get even worse than what it is. They're going to cut all kind of corners so they can save money making the food. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
They're not going to be encouraged to make all the food they can. I mean, you're literally going to take this country to a literally depression and have it on its knees. Who's advising her? And I didn't go to the Wharton School of Business, but I definitely went to the School of Common Sense. This doesn't make sense. But vote for her because she's an AKA and she's a black woman, right? That's the only reason I need to vote. But when you black folk that just want to vote for her because she black or she AKA, she went to HBCU, when you dealing with food shortage, when you're dealing with double the inflation you got right now, when you see more shrinkflation of food, when you see all that stuff happening, and then we're not even talking about the weakness of America and how it's looking now with Biden. Do you think America gonna look stronger with her there?
Hell no.
Her. Once again, hold on. This is the lady. This is the lady that y'all want to put in office. I gotta play this because this is one of the craziest things to me. This is the lady.
And as a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a bitch. Turn that off.
That's a lady right there. Listen, that's who she really is.
Wow.
She hasn't really changed from that. So I don't know why she's looking all serious talking about some policies. Like, you don't know enough. Or at least if you don't know enough, at least have people around you that know enough where you can present proper policy. Did you ever talk to the grocers and find out about the prices?
Nope.
Did you ever ask any questions? No, you didn't do anything. You're just throwing stuff against the wall, and hopefully people who silly, who don't think for themselves, will just take it and go vote for you. Y'all, we live in an information age. Like they say on Back to the Future, think, McFly, think. Use your brain. Like the old people would say, use your head for more than a hat rack. Don't be silly. And of course, Boulay, Martin, and the rest of them gonna tell you all of that. Cause they silly too. They don't know nothing either, obviously. The people that actually know, they got sense, who are Democrats and Republicans, that's why both of them came out and say this was asinine, what she's talking about. Because you still have some Democrats with common sense out there. And most of the Democrats I notice who got common sense are moderates. They're in the middle. That I can tell you. That left-wing, progressive, radical, that's not the ones you need to engage. Because they lost. They cannot see past that stuff. But you get a traditional Democrat, more so toward the middle, that kind of Democrat, you can have a conversation with that kind of Democrat. Some of them are still out there, but what's taking over that party is that left-wing, progressive, that wing. And that wing is just, oh.
And I agree with you, Pioneer. We do got to do for self, though.
So
yeah, this whole thing.
You don't have to really think.
This whole government has to be dismantled. To be honest with you. So I'm about to get off here, y'all, man. I've been on here for like 2 hours, man. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Probably about to jump on BJ's channel. BJ has a live right now if y'all want to tap into BJ's channel. Junior Coltrane. If you have BJ's, if you not subscribed to BJ channel, just go on King BJ on YouTube. He's doing a live right now, so I'm about to jump on there and get something to eat. So I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Salute, Pioneer. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Junior Coltrane, you know, Dark Balls, Charmaine Dawson. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that came on support. I salute y'all. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? Pioneer. You know what I mean? We're gonna. I'm gonna have to have you come on soon again, Pioneer, because you be spending some facts too, man. You know what I mean? We just gotta stay vigilant, stay watchful. Don't you know what I'm saying, trust none of these politicians, man. Don't trust nobody but yourself. We do got to get back to the economics and build our own little communities and our own stuff, man. Be self-sufficient. This government don't care about you. We gotta look at it like how the Asians and the Jews do. They don't, you know, they may be in government or may participate a little something, but they still do for their own. You know what I'm saying? Word. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Salute. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do another live. If not, tomorrow, Monday, I'm gonna keep coming on here as much as I can. You know, spit some information to y'all good people. Don't trust either side, man. And just remember, man, stay watchful, stay vigilant, man, and stay on their necks, man. Because at the end of the day, man, if any of these cats wanted the economy to be better, it would have been better. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be fighting and trying to convince us that they could do a better job. They would just do it. All right, so I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Salute. All right, till next time. Thanks for tapping in with y'all. All right.